Those who do not understand the matter of praying between the azan and iqamat read this sister's story of her prayers being accepted carefully. I have a best friend. She is a native of Kuala Lumpur. Once I was invited to her house. After going to her house, I saw a strange thing in her room, a digital prayer timetable. A large prayer timetable was arranged on the wall of the room. I was curious and asked, "Why is this prayer timetable in your house when it is in the mosque?" She replied, "My mother and I pray after seeing this, because it is said in the hadith that if you pray between the azan and iqamat, it is not returned." My father changes the time of the congregation from the mosque. Whenever the call to prayer is given, my mother and I sit down to pray. Most of the prayers I have made during this time have been accepted. I was very inspired. After that, I searched for prayer timetables in many places in Kuala Lumpur, but could not find them. Later, I made a compass on paper. There's a big mosque on the south side of my university campus, and the sweet voice of the muezzin in that mosque can calm anyone as heart. The mosque is open to all boys and girls here. I came to know that the congregation is held here 15 minutes after the call to prayer. I don't know if you'll believe it or not. These 15 minutes seem more valuable to me than millions of taka, because in these 15 minutes, everything I prayed for was accepted. One day, as soon as the call to prayer for Asr ended, I sat down and made a strange prayer. That day we had an exam. I didn't do well in the exam at all. I prayed to myself, "Oh Allah, if only the exam would be canceled." I said it in a strange way because I have never heard of any exam being canceled here before. The next morning I saw a notice board saying that yesterday's exam was canceled due to unavoidable reasons. You can also pray with concentration between the azan and iqamat. Inshallah, you will see that it is accepted. What is iqamat in its time? One of the times when dua is accepted is the time between the azan and iqamat. The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "The dua between the azan and iqamat is not rejected." Abu Dawud 521, Tirmidhi 212. Many sisters ask, what is iqamat? How do we know when iqamat is happening? The congregational prayer begins 15/30 minutes after the call to prayer in the mosque. Just before the start of the congregational prayer, the call to prayer is given again in the mosque with the words of the call to prayer, so that everyone can come and join the congregation. This is called the iqamat. It is not said in such a long and loud voice on a microphone like the call to prayer, but rather it is said a little faster. As soon as the iqamat ends, the prayer begins with the congregation. How long after the call to prayer does the iqamat begin? 1. Usually, the congregation begins with the iqamat 30 minutes after the call to prayer for Fajr. For example, currently the call to prayer for Fajr is given at 5:00 in the morning, and the congregation begins with the iqamat at 5:32 in. Most mosques in the country, the call to prayer is given at 1 o'clock, and the congregation begins with the iqamat at 1:30. In many places, the congregation also begins at 1:15. The congregation begins with the iqamah 15 minutes after the Asr call to prayer. 4. The congregation begins immediately after the Maghrib call to prayer. Usually, the congregation begins 30 minutes after the Isha call to prayer. Generally, you can make dua within 15 minutes of the call to prayer without hesitation. Because the iqamah does not start anywhere before 15 minutes, except for Maghrib, make dua more and more at this time. At the beginning of the dua, praise Allah. It can be the first verse of Surah Fatiha, or the first line of Ayatul Kursi, or the whole thing. Then recite Durud Ibrahim, which is recited at the last session of the prayer. Then make dua in your own way. In between the dua, keep reciting Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyumu a little at a time. Also recite Dua Yunus, La ilaha illa anta Zavalaman. End the duas before, praise Allah, then Durud. Then end the dua by saying Amin or Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram. or by saying any of the names of Allah. Note, make ablution and make dua. Make dua with firm faith in your heart. This is the best method. May the Almighty accept all the good duas. Ameen.